Have a good day.
Umar, over here. I think after Mario won his last fight in Newark, this was a fight that people thought would be next for him, considering you were coming off a title fight and he's on this 9-fight win streak. So after his win in Newark over Patchy Mix, did you think Mario would be your next opponent?
Yes, when I just saw how he win, and I just saw he win that fight. Habib texted me or I text him. I think this guy gonna be next for me.
What did you make of his fight against Patchy? Because the Aldo fight was very wrestling heavy. The Patchy fight was all standing. So what did you make of his two performances?
What I can say, Jose Aldo, long time not on his prime, right? He's old man and he's a legend. And Patchy Mix was not like always. I don't know what's wrong with him, but Mario Batista was much better than both. With Jose Aldo was close fight.
Yeah, right? A lot of people thought Jose won.
Yes, it was close. But with Patchy Mix, he showed a very good fight. Even with other guys too, he's a good striker. You know, he's a good striker, and he all the time moving. And what I can say, he's talented.
Then after your last fight in January, how long did it take for you to feel fully healthy to get back in camp?
Since summer, I'm in camp.
Were you hoping to fight in the Abu Dhabi card? Because obviously there were rumors that you would be in Vancouver and it would be a 5-round fight.
For me, it's of course better if I preparing here in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, you know, because everybody can come, can help, and a lot of my friends can come to support me, and better for me here. But it was not big difference, you know, and I can fight anyway.
A lot of people are still saying you're the only one that can beat Merab. Even all the interviews Merab does, they're asking about you. So I guess as a win here, does it make sense that you get that rematch, considering everyone seems to be talking about it?
Of course, if we both gonna win, it's a very interesting fight for all fans and for UFC. But you know, I don't want to wait too long. You know, I want to be active, and we'll see what UFC gonna ask. We'll see after this fight. You know, if it's gonna be possible, I'm gonna fight in January or February. You know.
Omar, salam. I wanted to ask you about Merab. It seems like every time someone asks him about you, he gets a little bit angry. He talks about how you have to win 2-3 fights in a row. Why do you think that is, that every time your name is brought up, it kind of gets him pretty riled up?
If you will ask to him, I think he will to say he have to fight 10 times, you know, until he will retire it. And what I can tell, it's just his mind, you know, his opinion, and he can say whatever he want, but reality is gonna be different.
Do you think it has something to do with the fact that you gave him his toughest fight in terms of his championship run? Do you think it has something to do with that, or why do you think, is there anything behind the scenes that people don't know? Like, why is it that he seems to have so much anger when it comes to you?
Because of he know, everybody know why he talking like this, because of he know what's gonna happen in fight next, you know, and he know it was like very close, and you know, it's funny for everyone, not just for me. Everybody can see it.
I asked your coach, Javier Mendez, what the biggest mistake you made in the fight against Merab, and he said that you didn't tell them that you broke your hand. In your opinion, what do you feel like is the biggest mistake you made?
I didn't tell them because I don't want to give them bad energy, you know, like as a coach, you know, like corners, and they will gonna see like, I know this, how happened. Okay, I was corner right a lot of time, and my fighter, like who I corner, my close friend or my brother, he told me he broke hand, and it's gonna like push me, like, bad energy give it to me. And I knew Habib gonna tell me, and what else? We have to go like to fight. You can do anything, fight until they broke all arm, And I knew it, and I keep it. Even if I didn't tell him, I try to do everything what I can to take victory.
And what did you think of Merab's fight against Corey Sandhagen? He showed off like new improvements in his striking. Were you impressed with his performance?
When you attack all the time legs, you try to take down. It's very hard to fight with you on the strike. I know it, like, because I do this a lot. You have to always be focused, and that's why I'm not surprised. Even about the results, I'm not surprised. He don't show anything new. He didn't control him on the ground. He didn't try to do some submission or choke, and he even didn't take him down and hold and punch him. Take down, get up, take down. It's good. He can do whatever he wants. Like victory, it's victory. But I was not surprising.
One last one for me. How do you see the rematch between Merab and Jan going? Do you give Jan a chance to avenge that loss?
Yes, of course. Everyone has chance, and I think Petr is a tough fighters in our division, and it depends on how he will be ready, how Merab will recover. Fourth fight in the 1 year, it's not easy for body, My prediction, it's if it's not gonna be some TKO or something like that, Merab gonna win, because he's gonna do same game how he did with O'Malley, with Sandhagen,
Thank you.
Umar, Thomas, RMC Sport French TV. Following up on my colleague about Merab. Out of 10 fights against Merab Dvalishvili, how many did you win? 7, 8, 9? Out of 10 fights.
Если продолжить ее вопрос, из 10 боев твой бой против Мераба. Из 10 боев сколько раз ты выиграешь или сколько раз проиграешь?
I want to, he said he want to fight until he will become 50 or something like that. I want to beat him until he become 50.
I like that. I'm kind of out of the journalist position. My position, I think you have the most mismatched fight. I know you're humble. I know you have to stay like that culturally wise. How do you not overlook Mauricio Batista, because I think you're much, much better?
I don't think I'm much better than him in striking. I think we have like almost same level. He's very good on striking. His movement, he do smart game. He work for scores. He don't spend a lot of energy in strike. He didn't try to punch hard. I don't know why he said he wanna finish me in the first round. I don't see anybody who he finished even last 8 fights. And I think my wrestling skills and my grappling skills better. This is sure. But striking, he's good.
Hi, Umar. Yusuf here. Do you think that Merab just hurried up in accepting a fight against Jan just to avoid a fight against you?
I don't know. It's his business. He can do whatever he wants. And, it's hard to sometimes to talk about what you want, how I can talk, why he did this, And we're going to see that after his fights, my fights, and if he will try to avoid, try to talk, he going to fight April and March, then it's going to be like that. Even if he will try to avoid, I don't want to wait. How I said, I want to be active, I want to fight, and I hope I will fight.
Will Islam be cornering you in this fight?
No, Islam already live. Islam in New York, New Jersey, that area, and preparing for his fight.
Last question. Some people said that your loss against Merab is because you listened to Khabib, not to Javier Mendez, when he asked you to. Javier Mendez asked you to keep distance and strike, while Khabib told you to do more takedowns and wrestling, which exhausted your energy.
No, it's not happened because of I didn't listen or I listened somebody, one of them, you know. There's a lot of factors, you know. And one of them, I think I broke hand and I can't, like, I didn't change the plan, you know. And other one, I have to work with wrestling skills. I have to be more focused, more disciplined, and work with myself. It's not about my coaches.
All the best, Umar.
Thank you.
Does the fact? Oh, no mic. Is it? Hi. Does the fact that you're coming off your first career loss have any effect on your mindset coming into this fight?
No, of course. Of course, no. And lost and lost. You know, not. It's something what can't happen, not happen, right? And if I will give up and I will tell I'm retired, then it's gonna be something like how is like, как сказать, которая сломала меня или там значимое что-то.
Broke me or changed me in any way.
Yes. Nothing changed. Same Umar. With the same dream, will train hard to become a champion.
В одном из интервью Хабиб говорил о том, что каждому спортсмену после поражения свой подход и так далее, свои слова. А вот вспомнишь ли ты, какие слова тебе Хабиб говорил после поражения? Какой подход у него к тебе, потому что он отметил очень близкую связь с тобой?
Сказал, что мы обязательно вернемся.
Habib is quoted to say that to every fighter after their loss, there's a specific approach, there's specific things you have to say to him. What were the words that he said to you after your first loss? And the answer is, he said that we'll definitely be back.
Марк, ты сказал, что ты хочешь быть активным в качестве чемпиона, в качестве бойца. Вот в этом году Мераб 4-й бой уже проведет против Петра Яна. Насколько в случае завоевания пояса вот такую высокую плашку, которую там предыдущий чемпион задал, вот ее ты планируешь поддерживать?
You said that you would like to be active, and Merab at this point is defending his belt for the 4th time against Peter Yan this year. If you were to win the belt, how often do you want to try and defend it? Do you want to keep up this type of pace of defending at least 4 times a year?
Всегда есть много факторов, от которых ты отталкиваешься, чтобы подраться, чтобы подготовиться к какому-то бою. Если ты не травмирован, у тебя со здоровьем все хорошо, то 3 боя спокойно можно делать.
There's always factors that affect that to see, if you're prepared, if you're not injured. If everything goes well after the defense, you can always defend at least 3 times. 3 fights a year is perfectly normal.
Марк, последний вопрос. Ты сказал, что the same Umar with the same dream. Ну вот, наверное, мечта не просто стать чемпионом UFC, но и как-то там в историю войти. Вот как ты думаешь, это какое количество защит нужно провести, сколько поединков после завоевания титула чемпиона, чтобы вписать себя в историю? И вот этот dream, он из чего вообще состоит, о котором ты сказал?
You said the same Umar. You just said the same Umar, the same dream to become a champion. So besides just that, writing yourself into the history, how many times do you think you have to defend a belt as a champion in order to write your name, etch your name to the history forever?
Наверное, чтобы войти в историю в саму спорта ММА, будет достаточно просто сперва стать чемпионом, забрать пояс, потому что это уже будет эпично, когда 2 братьев стали чемпионами. Потом у нас еще и Усман есть, который хочет завоевать все пояса мира. Поэтому я думаю, просто стать даже чемпионом будет хорошо и похвально. Но, конечно, я хочу оставить какой-то след, но сейчас далеко до этого. Хочу сперва стать чемпионом, а дальше уже поговорим.
You know, I think to etch your name into history, the first thing that's most important is just to become a champion in the first place. Then it's going to be, two brothers that are going to be champions already. And then we also have a third brother, Usman, who's trying to win all the belts already. So I think that the most important part in order for your name to stay in history is to become a champion, and then we'll see what happens.
Умар, приветствую. Вот если представить, что Петр Ян в декабре победит Мераба Давлишвили, и затем ты будешь с Петром биться за пояс, будет ли у тебя желание у UFC попросить, чтобы этот бой провели там в России, в Москве или еще в другом городе?
Let's assume that Peter Yan beats Umar in December, and then there's a possibility that the two of you are going to have to fight for the belt. If that is the case, would you be willing to ask the UFC to potentially have that fight somewhere in Russia or close to Russia?
Как я знаю, первый бой они тяжело будет туда перевести, но титульный бой они навряд ли в России проведут. В Абу-Даби было бы, конечно, интересно подраться, потому что могли бы все приехать, поддержать. Относительно, где именно они это проведут, ты знаешь, как-то, даже если боец попросит, это всегда дело руководства. И я думаю, что мало что будет значить какая-то просьба, и не вижу это возможным.
You know, I think it would be tough to move such a title fight to Russia, especially now. Likely they might do it in Abu Dhabi, I think, then everybody could attend, a lot of people could come, a lot of people can support. But I think it doesn't matter whether or not there's a request to do that. The request from any fighter is not going to really make a difference. I think the organization is, at the end, the ones who decide where the fight's going to happen.
Через месяц твой бывший соперник Бекзат Алмахан подерется с Александром Топури, старшим братом и тренером Илии. Вот видишь ли ты в Александре что-то такое, что сможет в будущем ему позволить претендовать на пояс в твоем весе?
Your former opponent, Begzat Almakhan, is going to be fighting Ilia Topury's older brother, Alexander. He's also Ilia's coach. Do you see anything specific in Alexander that potentially will have him fighting for the belt later on in your weight category?
Я думаю, у любого отца есть шанс биться за пояс. Главное выигрывать свои бои и продолжать биться.
I think any fighter has a chance to fight for the belt. I think the most important thing is to continue to win and continue to fight actively, and there's a way to fight for the belt.
Илья Топурия недавно в очередной раз жестко высказался в адрес ислама. Вот интересно, слышал ли ты, задели ли тебя его слова о том, что если ислам проиграет, то там ему нужно на ферму отправляться, и, может быть, UFC следует количество охраны на турнире в Катаре увеличить, чтобы не было никаких стычек?
Ilia Topuria was quoted to once again harshly speak about Islam, something about him having to go back to the farm if he loses. Do you think that the UFC should up the security on the Qatar fight in order to make sure that everything is okay there?
Знаешь, как сказал однажды Мэнни Пакьяо, любой человек, который, особенно любой спортсмен, который будет себя вести возвышенно, понимаешь, там, вот, с этой горделивостью, мол, ты вот обязательно будет унижен. Есть такие у него слова прекрасные. Я не знаю, можно что угодно говорить. Можно также сказать, что Илью Топурию отправим в магазин одежды, заново ее продавать, там, или еще что-то. Но это не подобает. Этого не хочется делать, не хочется вот этот. У ислама и так есть ферма, и так у него есть на ферме овцы, и без этого он занимается, без советов, или тоже он занимается фермерским хозяйством.
You know, there's Manny Pacquiao once was said that any fighter that talks down will eventually be the one who be brought down in a ring. So I think that those words mean something, and there's other things that we could say. We can kind of match him on the same energy. We can say that, if he loses, he can go back to a store and start selling clothes again or whatever he does. And with or without being a champion, Islam has a farm and he's got the sheep that he herds there. He does the farmer stuff there, so it doesn't have to do anything with the fighting. It's something separate that he does. So you can get to that level or on that level and be like them, but there's no reason for that. That's not something that we bring ourselves down to.
Умар, приветствую. Справа. От тебя здесь. Умар, приветствую. Ты рассказал о том, что тебе сказал Хабиб после поражения от Мераба, но нельзя сказать, что это было тяжелое поражение для тебя. При этом совсем недавно Магомед Магомедов, твой спарринг-партнер, очень тяжело проиграл. Расскажи, что ты ему сказал после этого и насколько тоже тяжело воспринял это.
You said that Habib told you after your first defeat, your defeat to Merab, he said that we'll be back for sure. There's also your sparring partner, Magomedov, who had a much harder loss than you did to Merab. What words did you say to him after that harsh loss?
Конечно, поддержал словами и сказал, что у его оппонента был единственный шанс выиграть его именно вот таким образом и запустить их драться еще 10 раз. Из 10 раз Мухаммад, Тигр выиграл бы его, я думаю. Просто вот именно тот самый случай, когда из миллиона один.
You know, I just said some words of support, and I made sure that he understands that. You know, I told him that his opponent had the one chance to win, this one lucky shot that he had, and he found it. But you know, if you get him into the cage 10 times, 10 out of 10 times, Tiger's going to win. It just happened that he got caught with that lucky punch.
И от меня еще последний вопрос. У тебя есть еще одна социальная сеть, Telegram. Ты его ведешь очень редко, но такое чувство, что там достаточно личные для тебя какие-то и важные вещи. Совсем недавно ты выложил пост о бывшем президенте Уругвая, который рассказывает, что нужно довольствоваться малым. И вот мне кажется, что его слова немножко не бьются с карьерой бойца, который, наоборот, должен там все свои силы вкладывать в то, чтобы как раз забрать пояс. Ты рассказал о своей мечте. Можешь немножко объяснить, почему вот выложил его цитату?
You also have a Telegram channel that is, you're pretty quiet on it. You don't post on it too much, but when you do, it's something very important. We saw a post on that recently about the Uruguay president who at one point said that a man should stay humble and be good with whatever he has. And I feel like it should be something different for a fighter. A fighter should talk about how he puts all of his energy and all of his quest is to always to get the title. So tell us why specifically you decided to share that stuff.
Ну, знаешь, даже книгу читает человек, он по-своему ее понимает, другой может ее прочитать, по-своему понять. Для меня в этих словах, наверное, чуть больше так смысла, чтобы человек не зарабатывал, не гнался за ней путями запретными, чтобы ты не обманывал, не кидал людей, не крал, не забирал. А люди все разные, ведь кто-то амбициозен, кто-то нет, кому-то достаточно, кто-то хочет оставить какое-то наследие, там, наследство детям и так далее. Ну, я-то отталкиваюсь не от его слов в своей жизни. В своей жизни я отталкиваюсь от слов посланника Аллаха, потом от того, что пришло в религии. И в моей религии нет ничего плохого в богатстве. Главное, чтобы она была в руках, но не в сердце.
You know, everybody who's going to read a book is going to read it differently, and they're going to get their own sense out of it. So when I read those words, I understand stuff like you should stay humble, you should not steal, you should be okay with what you have. You know, you should get stuff for your family, get stuff for your children. So, but it's not his words specifically that I live by. I live obviously by the words of the Almighty. I live by the words of my religion, and in that religion, it doesn't say anything bad about. You know, the riches. It's just the point of how you got the riches, and riches should be in your hands, not in your soul.
Удачи в субботу.
Умар, привет. Вопрос не про Мераба, извини. В случае, если бой с Баутистой пройдет хорошо в плане здоровья, планируешь ли ты сразу же вылететь из Абу-Даби в Джерси и присоединиться к кемпу Ислама?
The question is not about Merab, but the question is, if your fight goes really well against Mario Batista, are you going to jump on a plane right away and go straight to Jersey or to New York and join Islam's camp for his preparation for the fight?
Yes, of course. After this fight, the plan to join his team.
Да, конечно же, после этого боя обязательно план вылететь туда и присоединиться к его команде.
К нашей команде, скажем так.
К нашей команде.
Умар, Хабиб однажды сказал, когда его спросили о давлении фанатов, которые постоянно хотят сфотографироваться с бойцом, внимании прессы, он сказал, а ведь достаточно просто проиграть следующий бой, и они уже к тебе не подойдут. А ты как почувствовал? Фанаты какие-то от тебя отвернулись, или они как поддерживали тебя, так и поддерживали?
Разницы большой не почувствовал.
Khabib was once asked about the pressure that the fighter gets when all the fans want to try and get a piece of you, try to take a photo with you, try to talk to you. And all he said was that the best way to get rid of that is just lose your next fight. So did you feel like after your last loss, a lot of fans turned away from you and maybe you're not as popular or as requested at this point? And the answer is no, did not feel anything different.
Спасибо.
Thank you